maybe in Nirvana by Smino. This is the first like full-length Smino project we've got since Love for Rent, but this kind of feels more like a mixtape rather than like a full-length project. Kind of feels like he's like experimenting with the sound and figure out what he wants to like do moving on. I feel the same way about the Dochi project that dropped earlier this year, where it's not like these out, not like they aren't like cohesive albums, but it's definitely like just kind of throwing whatever they can, as much as they can, onto like a canvas and figuring out like what sticks with like audiences and what sticks with them. But like even with the first song of this like sounds like a brand new like sound for Smino, or at least something like don't think I've heard before. And I think like with the first verse you can kind of like hear him sort of like figuring it out, and then by the time the hook comes in, he's kind of like brought back the like classic Smino melodies that we like. And then by the second verse he kind of figures out how to combine the two, which I think is like a theme throughout a lot of the album. Even in the second song, it's the Kenny Beats produced song. I usually get kind of nervous when I hear Kenny Beats. I really like the songs when they come out, but when I come back to them a couple years later, I'm either like tired of it, or maybe I've like over listened. Maybe it's my fault, I don't know, but it definitely feels like of the time. And especially like when he works with Smino, I always feel like I'm hearing Smino like figure out how to be on the track while he is on the track. But again, by the hook he kind of brings back the classic like Smino sound, and then by the third verse he's combined them, and just very exciting as a fan to hear this sort of like evolution in his music that is definitely like taking a step forward, but is I think a little bit more reminiscent of an older Smino that like I, as like a fan someone who's been a fan for a while, I like seeing that. There's the third song, the title song, Maybe in Nirvana. I think this is like the most like mixtapes, like the first verse itself is so, he's rapping like he raps on, I don't know if you guys heard the Sad mixtape, the She Already Decided. I don't think he put it out on any streaming platform, but this song, the first verse starts just like that, and then slowly again it grows into the same like melodic Smino. I really like this song. I love the sound of Smino and Monte Booker. I think that is my biggest dispute with Smino's music as it's like gone on, is that he's worked with Monte Booker less and less and trying to incorporate these. I like some of the Cowbank songs. But I think like him and Monte Booker, like they both have such like an interesting take and like understanding of drums and the way that they use sounds in like how sounds are. I don't know. I love it. I love when they work together. It's amazing. And also Felix, I think, did the outro. Love Felix. I also really like the fourth song, Lee. This might be my favorite song on the album because of how much you can like hear the T-Pain influence. I always say that Smino is if a rapper was an R&B artist, because he's making like mostly R&B music, but he is rapping. And I think the next song, Taquan with Raven Lene, is like a perfect example of like he might be like the best R&B artist we have right now, and he's a rapper. That's crazy to say. I don't know. Another comparison I make that sometimes people don't like is the Andre 3000 comparison. I think that Smino kind of sounds like if Andre 3000 decided to make R&B music. I think Reggie just sounds like Andre 3000, not like the flow, like just the voice itself. Every time I hear, I'm like, is that Andre? No, it's not Andre. Of course not Andre 3000. It's Reggie again. But yeah, I think NSYNC is one of the more fun songs on the album. Miss Joyce is another song that really sounds like T-Pain could have made it. I really like the samples they use, like in the background. I think there's like a Still Tippin' sample in there. I love that. And then I got to Honouns, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of scared that I was about to get the track that like maybe not be able to listen to my favorite artist, but it literally had nothing to do about it at all. Reggie has a rap verse. I think he should stick to singing. Not that the verse is bad. His singing voice is so nice to listen to. Like when he raps, it's like, sing a little bit, dog. I don't know. And then Thundercat on the outro is beautiful. And then the last song is the other Monte Booker and the other Raven Lene song. I love the three of them. I love when they work together. This song specifically is like kind of different, whereas like the first Monte Booker song is like, this is what a Monte Booker beat sounds like. This one is like different, but it's still, his sound is so recognizable even when the style is different. I also love that Smino will just let a woman feature on the song and just like let them like outshine them, like steal the song. I'm not even saying that that's what happens on this song. I'll probably have to listen to it a few more times. I feel like Raven Lene is always kind of like that, but if that'll make the song better, yeah, sure. Sometimes a woman being better than him is gonna make a song better. Sorry. And he's just fine with that. Oh no, I really like this album. I think it was probably my favorite album since like the Sad mixtape. I'm not saying that I didn't like Love for Rent, but I do think it was sort of a step away from the sound that I really love Smino for. And I think this album kind of brought it back. I think he's having a lot of fun with this. And I love when artists have fun, especially when they're still insanely talented when they do so.